Welcome back. Not only to another coffee break, but to the last coffee break. I've been doing this now for a few years, and it has been one of the more pleasurable parts of my job that I've put on myself is to try to create some time where you and I can just sit down together for a few minutes and enjoy a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a Diet Coke or, the adult beverage of your choice if you're at home, and just talk about a few things, some of which are related to education, maybe some of which are not. But I have had a blast creating these over the last few years. Today I want to leave you with one final thought. And I want to show you this picture. Now, there was a picture like this out on the internet somewhere, and rather than waste a lot of time going to try to find it, I just decided to go to Adobe's Firefly, which is an image creator from text. And it's free, in case you ever want to try it. And I asked it to create a picture of kids sitting on a bench in an art museum staring at their phones. And it took a couple of times. Adobe is new. It's not like Mid-Journey. It's still on beta 1. Some kids didn't have a foot. Some kids didn't have any legs. But there is a reason why I want you to look at this picture, and I want you to look at it again. I want you to really look at the picture. And then I want you to answer in your head. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to put it in the comments. You don't have to tell me in the hallway. But I want you to say in your head, what is your first thought when you see this picture? I'll wait. I can tell you that when I saw this image, one like this on the internet, you may have had the very same first thought that I did. Here are these kids in an art museum with all of this history and art surrounding them, and they can't get off their gosh darn phones. I'm just going to be honest, that was my first reaction, because we deal with that so much every day. They just won't put down their phones. But that was not the story behind the picture. The story behind the picture was they had an app on their phone, the original picture at least, they had an app on their phone that they were using to explain the artwork to them as they walked around the museum. That's a very different construct, and one where my mind, even though at the time, this was several years ago, at the time I was really big into using cell phones in the classroom because it was really the only almost immediate technology we had for kids. That was not where my mind went, even in those days. And so I'm just going to leave you with this thought, and that is that things are not always what they seem. When you're dealing with a kid who is being obnoxious or someone who is striking out at you verbally in the classroom or is disengaged or otherwise just not being the model student you pictured in your mind, oftentimes there is a hidden side to that story that we don't know. And once we know it, changes everything. So that's one of the reasons why we have collab meetings. It's one of the reasons why I think the 865 Academy's model, where we try to get more and more students that are communication students with communication teachers, and over the next few years you're going to see that more and more, getting back to that original model where Fulton first went when they did their redesign. I think you're going to find that you are better able, more easily able, to see the other side of that picture that was hidden from your first response. I hope you'll give it a shot anyway. And that's it. With all of that, that's the fanfare. I I've mentioned before I'm going to leave this channel up for about a year, and I'm probably going to take it down because what's the point? So if you want to go back and look at past episodes, you're welcome to do that. And I'm going to go out with a little music this time. And we won't see you next week.